One morning in January 2015, thousands of traders woke up and saw something that wasn't supposed to be possible. Their balances hadn't just hit zero, they had gone negative. People with just a few $1,000s in their account were suddenly told they owed tens of thousands. And the strangest part is that it happened on what was widely considered one of the safest, most boring trades in the entire market. It became known as the Swiss franc flash crash, and in a single morning, it wiped out retail investors, bankrupted global brokers, and even took down a mega hedge fund that had survived decades of market chaos. This is the story of how a trade everyone called a sure thing became one of the most devastating, market-breaking moves in financial history. To understand how this trap was set, we have to go back a few years. After the 2008 global financial crisis, scared investors everywhere wanted a safe haven to park their money. One of the places they trusted most was Switzerland and its currency, the Swiss franc. So much global capital flooded into the country that the franc kept getting stronger and stronger. But that was a massive problem for the Swiss. A strong franc made their exports way too expensive for the rest of the world, threatening the backbone of their economy. So, in September 2011, the Swiss National Bank drew a line in the sand. They officially pegged their currency to the euro, promising that €1 would never fall below 1.2 francs. To back up that promise, they declared they were willing to print an unlimited amount of francs to defend that exact line. And for over 3 years, they kept that promise. Every single time the price drifted toward that floor, the central bank stepped in and pushed it back up. The floor held, month after month, until it started to look less like a policy and more like a law of nature. Naturally, a dangerous belief took hold across the trading world. If the central bank guarantees this line will never break, then buying right near it is basically free money. You wait for the price to dip to the floor, you buy, and you wait for the bank to do the heavy lifting. It felt about as close to a guaranteed win as trading ever gets. And this is where the real danger quietly entered the picture: leverage. In the Forex market, you don't need the full value of a position to open a trade. You put down a small deposit to borrow and control something many times larger. So picture an average trader who believes in this Swiss promise completely. They put down just a couple of $1,000s of their own money and use heavy leverage to control a massive position worth $100,000 against the franc. As long as the price barely moved, which it never did, that felt completely safe. But here's what made it a ticking time bomb. Almost everyone was doing the exact same thing. Nearly the entire global market was leaning heavily on one side of this trade, all trusting the exact same promise from the exact same central bank. To understand what happened next, you have to look at the man behind that promise and why he was about to break it. The man in charge was Thomas Jordan, chairman of the Swiss National Bank. For years, Jordan had publicly defended the currency floor. In fact, just days before the crash, his own vice chairman publicly called the cap a pillar of their economic policy. But behind the scenes, the pressure had become impossible to hold. The European Central Bank was about to launch a massive money-printing stimulus program that would flood the market with euros and crush the euro's value. To keep the Swiss franc from rising past the line against a dying euro, Switzerland would have had to print their own currency at an uncontrollable hyperinflationary scale. Chairman Jordan decided that defending the floor had become too expensive and too dangerous for Switzerland's own survival. He decided to pull the plug, but he had to do it completely without warning, because announcing it early would have opened the floodgates to predatory market speculators. Then came the morning of January 15, 2015. With zero warning, Jordan and the Swiss Central Bank did the one thing they had sworn they never would. They walked away from the floor. The moment that promise disappeared, the franc didn't just drift, it detonated. It surged 30% against the euro in a matter of minutes. To put that into perspective, major global currencies usually move less than 1% in an entire day. A 30% move in minutes isn't a normal market fluctuation. It is a total systemic failure. For our trader with the $100,000 leveraged position, that sudden 30% gap meant an instant loss of around $30,000. Remember, their account only held a couple of thousand. In seconds, their life savings weren't just wiped out. They were deep in the red, legally owing money they never even had in the first place. And because the entire market was on that same side of the trade, this nightmare was happening to thousands of people simultaneously. Here is where the real carnage shows up, and these numbers are staggering. Normally, a trader uses a stop-loss order to automatically close a trade before the losses get catastrophic. But this move was so violent and instantaneous that the market completely broke down. There were literally no buyers on the other side of the trade. The stop losses couldn't trigger. The losses just kept multiplying in the dark. FXCM, one of the largest retail brokers on the planet, announced that its clients suddenly owed the firm $225 million that they couldn't pay. The massive broker nearly collapsed entirely and required an emergency $300 million rescue package just to survive the weekend. A prominent British broker, Alperi UK, declared insolvency that very same day. And it wasn't just individual retail traders getting punished. Everest Capital, a major hedge fund that had survived decades of global financial chaos, saw its largest fund, worth around $830 million, almost entirely wiped out in a single morning. When a market fractures like that, every single trader caught in the wreckage realizes the same terrifying truth. They were trading completely alone, relying on a single assumption with no one around them to check their blind spots. That's exactly why Followme exists. Followme is a copy trading community designed to take you out of that dangerous isolation. Instead of trying to spot every hidden market trap by yourself, the platform allows you to see how highly experienced traders are actually positioning themselves. Look at their real-time data and see exactly how they manage risk when things get volatile. Whether you want to learn from the best or automatically mirror their strategies, it gives you a community-backed edge. You can check out the community and get started using the link in the description below. Now, behind those massive corporate bankruptcy numbers was a devastating human cost. Many of the people ruined by the crash weren't Wall Street professionals. They were everyday individuals who had been told again and again that currency trading was a safe, stable way to grow their wealth. They had put their hard-earned savings into a trade that looked like a mathematically guaranteed win. In a single morning, not only was that money permanently gone, but many were left owing their brokers sums that would take a lifetime to repay. The trade everyone called safe didn't just take their future, it buried them in debt. And here is the psychological twist that makes this story unforgettable. The exact reason everyone felt safe was the precise reason it became a total disaster. Because the trade looked so completely certain, the entire market piled onto the exact same side of it, using extreme leverage. Almost no one was betting against it. That absolute, one-sided confidence is precisely what made the collapse so violent. When the floor dropped, there was no one on the other side to cushion the fall. The safety itself created the danger. The Swiss franc didn't punish people for being reckless. It punished them for being certain. The ultimate takeaway here isn't that leverage is inherently evil, or that you should never trade. It's that no trade in any market is ever truly guaranteed. And the exact moment you forget that is the moment you're most exposed to ruin. The traders who survive over the long term aren't the ones who avoid all risk. They're the ones who fully understand exactly how exposed they are before anything goes wrong. Protect your downside. Never fully trust a sure thing. And I'll see you in the next video.